Hello, so I think we'll kick things off now. Let's get started. So I'm Alex, I'm case management developer at Osprey. My background is that I've worked in practice. I used to be a solicitor and I spent most of my training contract doing residential conveyancing with a little bit of commercial conveyancing as well. And then when I qualified, moved into family. So I've got some years of practice experience. And the firm that I used to work for also used Osprey. So hence how I made the transition to working for Osprey. So I'm going to be talking about the residential conveyancing workflow, specifically the sale and the purchase workflows that we've developed. The purpose of them is that they can integrate with Infotrack. So there's no need to duplicate data that you enter into Osprey when you move over to Infotrack. And of course, the purpose of workflows in general is that they increase profitability by saving you time, doing automated and efficient processes. And that in turn will increase your productivity and help you with managing your time. So what are workflows? For anybody that missed the Spring Roadshow a few weeks ago, where we kind of went into a bit more detail about what a workflow is, they're designed to take a user through a whole matter. So you break a matter down into a specific task and set of actions. So you could have a file opening task and a file closing task, everything in between. And actions within tasks could be, for example, to run a questionnaire to capture data, to run a letter template which pulls through that data automatically, or record an important date against a matter. There are lots of other actions that you can have as well, but those are kind of the most commonly used within workflows. So in conjunction with the workflow, you can use the client web portal Deal Room, and the workflow there we call web enabled. And the web portal is a convenient and secure way to share documents and updates on a case with clients and third parties. So in terms of the things that we've kind of included in our residential conveyancing workflows, one of the big things is the single data entry. So something that's used throughout all of our workflows are questionnaires, and they allow you to enter data against the matter. So in our conveyancing workflows, this would be the names of the purchaser and the seller, the property address, the title number, mortgage lender details, estate agent, and so on. And you'll have the majority of these details when you open the file. So within these workflows, there's a data entry task specifically for capturing this information at the outset. And as you progress through the matter, you'll be prompted again to enter additional data. So the title number when you come to prepare the contract pack, and the other side solicitor on receiving the estate agent's memorandum of sale. And this task, you can rerun as often as you like if you want to edit or add data to your matter. So what do we do then when we've got this data in the matter? How can that assist us further? So we have document production where we've got a set of templates that are pre-composed, letters and forms that will pull the information through for you. So for example, you can write to your mortgage lender really quickly and easily by simply opening the blank letter template for the mortgage lender from document production. And you can see your account address, account number, and your client's details will populate for you without you having to manually enter anything in. We've also got pre-drafted letters available within the workflow. So for example, requesting a redemption statement, we've got an example here, requesting a redemption statement. And we've also got other templates, so for sending the title information document on completion, for sending the contract pack to the solicitor and so on. As I said, you can also pre-populate forms. So when you come to draft the transfer on the purchase, the form will already have all the parties' names and the property details, as well as the correct number of attestation clauses. And know that's a massive time saver. So the only things that you need to manually edit in the transfer are boxes 10 and 11 as appropriate. And the criteria set against documents within the workflow tasks mean that you won't see leasehold documents on a freehold matter, and you won't see any mortgage lender documents and so on if there's no lender there. So that's something that also saves time by kind of pulling the things that are relevant to the file that you're working on. Something else that we offer is pre-composed email templates. This is really useful. For example, confirming searches are being submitted or the contract pack has been sent, or confirming that the matter has exchanged. So it's a really easy way of keeping on top of giving updates to clients, and particularly estate agents who you want to keep up to date without them having to harass you for further information throughout the transaction. So another thing that's offered is apportionments. It's kind of simple how it works really, because it's just a questionnaire that you add your data into. But all you need to do is enter the figures into it, and the formula behind the scenes will do all the calculations for you. Your service charge and your ground rent apportionments will then be inserted into the completion statement. So that, again, is just something that saves you not a great deal of time, but, a little bit of time, and of course that all adds up. So moving on to our Infotrack integration, you may have seen my colleague Matt's presentation on Tuesday, where he went a little bit more in detail about Infotrack, and he had somebody from Infotrack talking about their product. So I'm sure you're all aware of what Infotrack can do. It helps you with your searches, your SCLT form, registration, title documents, and so on. So what we've done is integrated with it to allow property details to pull through to Infotrack. So you enter them once into Osprey, and when you open Infotrack using the button from within the Osprey app, you don't need to enter any more details in. It automatically picks the client that you're on, and you just use the functions from within Infotrack as you usually would. Something else that we also offer is SMS integration, so text messages, and that's a service provided by Text Anywhere. That's really useful for giving clients updates, so you can send them a text after exchange or completion, or when they have a new document to view in the portal. And it's also something that's probably quite useful if you want to give them a gentle reminder to do something, so if they haven't returned their signed transfer or their ID documents and so on. That's another use for the text message integration. And of course, everyone's always got their phone on them. They're likely to see a text message straight away and think, okay, I'll get on and do that. So something else we use in the workflows is key dates. That's something you can use outside of the workflow as well, but we tend to use it within the workflow to kind of set automatic reminders to do things. So you can create diary entries that sit within Osprey, and you can also link it to your Outlook calendar. So if you have an Outlook 365 account, you can link your key dates and they'll also populate into that calendar. So if you need to remind yourself to prepare the file for completion a week in advance, something like that, prepare your requisitions and so on, you can set those kinds of reminders. You can also set reminders for the client to do something, and you can publish those to the web portal if you want. So you could say client to return their signed transfer, set a date that you publish to the web portal, and they can see that, and that jogs their memory to do things as well. So just to go on and talk about the web portal and the deal room a little bit. So the web portal is our method of securely sending documents and updates to clients. You can share as much or as little as you want to the web portal, but it is a convenient way for clients to manage and view documents and to keep track of the progress of their case. So each stage of the workflow, once a task has been completed, so that could be your submitting searches stage, or you're preparing the contract pack and sending it to the other side, they'll see that that has been marked in green. So you can see here we've got case status, and you can see here we've got some that are marked in green. That shows to the client that that part of the workflow has been completed. So it's a quick way for them to see an update. You don't have to share this if you don't want. I know some people think that might, invite further questions from the client, but it is a convenient way of just showing them what part you're up to. So all of the documents, come web enabled. So what that means is you can easily publish them to the web portal if you want to. Of course, you don't have to publish anything that goes to the other side solicitor, for example. You can use it simply just to give your client documentation. So your search report, your report on title, and all the other bits and pieces that go with that. Of course, that saves printing costs because you're not having to print out the searches on colour. I remember getting a lot of emails about not printing things in colour where possible. So another saving there. But it's also handy for the fact that clients never really read things properly. So if you're uploading a document to the portal, it's quite a good alternative to sending an informal email. Some people prefer the formal look of a letter, and hopefully that means clients will take a little bit more notice. And finally, the deal room. That can be used to send documents to third parties and also receive them too. So you, for example, could upload your replies to requisitions to the portal's deal room. So the purchaser solicitors can download them from there. And that, of course, is a secure way of transmitting data. You could also request that the estate agent upload their invoice to the deal room. So that, again, avoids any potential problems with sending and receiving bank details via email. And in terms of customization, letter templates are fully customizable. Everything that we provide to do with the workflow is customizable, but in terms of letter templates, firstly, one of the things you can do is edit the contents of the letter to incorporate your own templates. So if you prefer the wording of your own templates that you already have, so of quite a common thing is to change our client care letter to your client care letter template that meets all your requirements. You can do that really easily. That's a case of just going into the supervisor area and editing the documents, and our support team would be really happy to help with any queries that you have on doing that. The other thing to note is that all the letter templates are set up with the include documents. So as you can see here, we've got our Osprey solicitors logo and our footer. This is called an include document, and it allows you to display your letterhead on the first page of a Word document. If you don't have the function set up, it's really simple to do. It's just a case of uploading the header and footer into Osprey as Word documents, and that will automatically update to show the letterhead on all of your templates. So there's no need to edit each individual document within your standard set of templates. It's also really useful if you want to add a Christmas hours opening paragraph or something like that to any of your letters. So you just update your footer, add it into Osprey, it updates across everything, and it just saves staff having to remember to copy and paste it into the letters manually. So with the workflow customization, I've listed a couple of things here that are quite standard across Osprey in terms of the things that you want to incorporate into a task. It's possible to add, edit, or remove any of the actions within the workflow so that they meet your requirements. In terms of how you go about doing that, it's another supervisor area setting, and our support team will be more than happy to help with free remote training sessions on how to use the workflows from a user's perspective, but also how to edit them and build your own workflows or customize ones that we provide. And we've also got our support portal where you can view a collection of written guides in your own time, and there are some Mind Flash courses that you can take, which are video courses that kind of go through all of the bits and pieces that you need to know. So of course, if you have additional documents, you can add them in, you can remove our documents, you can add in standard email templates and so on. So you really can customize it to your needs. So that's a whistle-stop tour of the residential conveyancing workflows. I appreciate everyone is super busy now with the stamp duty. I'm sure you're all working into the night to meet your clients' expectations, but that's it for the workflow. We've got some further workflows coming up, workflow webinars coming up. We've got them every week over the next couple of months. So we do integrations on Tuesdays. That's with my colleague Matt, and I and one of my other colleagues, Ben, will be doing the webinars for workflows on Thursdays, always the same time at 10 AM. Next week, we've got DocuSign integration with Matt. So he'll be showing you how to send documents to clients for them to sign and return electronically. And the next workflow webinar on Thursday next week is family. So I'll be taking that as well. I'd like to invite my colleague Amy, who's our marketing manager, to jump in now just to go through any questions that have been raised during the session.
Hi Alex, thanks
Hello.
for letting me join. Yeah, so the Q&A is open, so feel free to ask any questions just in the Q&A section at the bottom of your Zoom screen. But we just have had a couple trickle in, so I'll just send these over to you, Alex. Someone has asked, how do I view the workflows in more detail?
That's really simple. If you want to have a look in your own time, all the workflow packs are available on our support portal, so you can go and have a look there, and we'd be happy to send out the link for that. The other way of doing it is to log a support call, so either ring our support team on the number that's in my final slide here, or you can email the inquiries at Practice or the support at Practice on their email, and someone will get back to you with regards to setting up a demonstration, so they're able to kind of go through the workflow in much more detail with that.
Brilliant, thank you. We just had another one. Are the Law Society transaction forms included within the workflow? So they've said an example such as the property information form.
So they're not included within the workflows, and the reason being the Law Society copyrights those forms, so we can't reproduce them without having a license. But what we do offer is LexisNexis forms integration. So that obviously covers all of the legal forms that you might need. And those can be kind of linked up to the workflow as any kind of Word document would be linked. They're a PDF form, and you do need to have a subscription for them, but of course we'd be more than happy to discuss how you can have that added to your site and set up for you if you want to get in contact with the support team.
Amazing, and we do also have the Lexis Smart Forms webinar coming up soon, so if you want more information you can join that one.
Yeah.
And just another question, we'll keep it open a little longer just if anybody wants to wants to add any more, but we do you have a remortgage or transfer of equity workflow available?
We do, yes. I haven't gone into detail of those today because we've got it all on our support portal for you to have a look at. So yes, we do have those available.
Brilliant. Okay, that seems to be all the questions so far, but obviously, as Alex said, if you have anything else that you want to ask, just feel free to email us or call the support desk. But yeah, that's all from me.
Lovely. Well, thanks everyone for attending. Hope you found this useful and that you're going to use the workflows, and we'll see you at the next one.